Hello and welcome again. Yes, I know I promised we'll move on from pronunciation to writing, grammar and other areas, but sorry, I'd forgotten about the semi-vowel sounds. They are very important. I've seen a lot of mistakes with the semi-vowel sounds. There are two semi-vowel sounds. They are w and y. W and y. Why are they semi-vowels? Well, when you sound them, there is some restriction. When you say w, your mouth purses. When you say y, your sides of the tongue touch the upper teeth. There is some restriction, so you cannot really call them a totally vowel sound because those are open r, a, e and all that. They can't be called a completely consonant sound because consonants tend to have more restriction than that. You know, when you say pen, p, ten, t, when you say pen, your lips are pursing together, totally closing on to each other. So it's not exactly a complete consonant either. That is why we call them semi-vowel sounds. Now you learned how to pronounce them. Now let's move on to the mistakes that happen when we pronounce them. One common mistake with v sound is that it's mistaken for the consonant v sound. V and v. And I've heard students say, I was in the market. I was. You're not a was. I was walking home when. Not I was walking home then. They want to say I wanted, but instead of that, they would be saying, I wanted some water. So I cannot really ignore those mistakes. What is the difference between v and v? V is a semi-vowel sound where your lips come together, purse, and your tongue is a little high up like this, not giving much space between the roof and the tongue. Whereas when it comes to v sound, there's an obstruction, there's a clear obstruction. The teeth, upper teeth and lower lip together create an obstruction. And the tongue is not as strained, it's pretty much relaxed. V, was, versus. I wore a vest over the shirt. Well, the house was to the west. I read the verses from the Bible. How worse can it get? So you see how there's a sound difference. Verse is so relaxed. You know, verses from the Bible sound so good. Verse. So that sounds really sinister. That sounds really scary, worrisome. So there's a sound difference, and it makes a huge lot of difference. And then when you say yeah, yes, yes. For many IELTS answers, you have to say yes after the question. You may say absolutely, you may say definitely, you may say certainly. Yes, I do is another common phrase that you would use to show agreement. So at that point of time, you have to get your yes right. It shouldn't be a very relaxed s. It's not the vowel sound It's the consonant semi-vowel sound y. Yes. There's an obstruction. It's not a free sound. Yesterday. What did you do yesterday? Well, yesterday I was really busy. I had a friend who had come over and we went out shopping. He wanted to buy a vest sweater, so I went along with him. The shopping mall was not very far. It's in fact very close by, just to the west of our church. I know it's kind of wicked to focus all the time on your lips, but you might notice that if you actually purse your lips correctly, you would realize that to bring an R sound after the V sound is very difficult. It's easier to say the O sound. Want is easier to say than want. and it's easier to say water than water. It's, the reason that you go wrong is because you're using the mouth expression. That is the reason why it's so important to focus a little bit more on how your lips are when you say this word. There's another reason why these two semi-vowel sounds are really important. They are also called glides. They glide between a vowel ending word and a word that begins with a vowel, and they help to connect them. For word connections, they are really useful. But maybe we'll do that another time when we work a little bit more on word connections. Let's practice words that start with the w and y sounds. Remember to purse your lips. With, world, wash, worth, watch, wish, weather, were, wait, work. Sometimes w sound can be a problem when it comes after another consonant sound. So we need to practice this as well. We just need to remember to bring our mouth in the w position after the consonant. Question, quick, away, towards, someone, require. Now let's move on to the y sound. Y, you, yourself, university, year, yearn, yard, yell, youngster, youthful. These words are very frequently used in speaking in IELTS. For example, you would speak about your university, you'd speak about the number of years you've spent at a place. You may speak about a time when you heard a loud noise, somebody yelled in your backyard. So there's yard there. Probably it was youngsters who were yelling in your yard. Somebody yelled in your neighborhood maybe. And you might speak about a person who's very youthful. You may speak about your yearning to learn a particular skill, probably. So practicing these words is extremely important. Keep practicing. Enjoy your English. Keep it simple. Bye-bye.